It explains why Wooklamat's brain is literally just her stomach. Alright, let's talk to Kona. Spicy brick wrapped in naja leaves. That sounds like a winning combination to me. Kona has the look of a man intent on finding bananas. A history of violence. Let us see if there are naja leaves to be had in town. Perhaps the cook Oriange mentioned might be persuaded to spare us a few. That is a beautiful chocobo. The earth here is indeed fashioned into an oven of sorts. Fascinating. An underground oven. This must be the cook Oriange was talking about. Oh, speaking of. So while I was working on the last two, episodes, I also thought the elector in this area looks a lot like Wooklamat, and the expressions, I'm wondering if possibly that is her dad biologically? I don't know if we'll find that out or not, but it seems like a thing. Maybe. I don't know. Oh, hello again. Did you need something? We need bananas. Noja leaves for purposes other than XIV, naturally. Unfortunately, I just used up my last. You'll have to travel to the lower forest for more. Gom Makjugi Grove is the source of the finest Noja leaves you'll find. Wild variants you sometimes see in the city market can't compare. I see. I had hoped to avoid such lengthy venture, but if there's no other way to obtain our ingredient, then the Jatika heartland we shall go. Allow me to save you the trip. Traveling there requires that you go through the Cheonk Beck Traverse, but it has caved in, due to the recent storms, I expect. What? But that means we can't get our Noja leaves. But we can, can't we? If there were no other way of procuring them, you would have suspended this feat or else altered its objective. Perhaps. Anyway, I apologize for the interruption, but we have overheard your conversation. I felt compelled to chime in. That's very kind of you. Any last-minute advice you'll be willing to share? Only to undertake the feat of repast with an empty stomach. You may find Ibruk Pal to be delicious, but a daunting dish to finish. Heh! I can't wait. Still, if there are no leaves here, we can't travel for more. How are we supposed to gather all our ingredients? These feats are meant to deepen our understanding of the peoples and cultures of Tuliola. So perhaps there is something about the Ilbruk's peel that we have yet to learn. Something of significance other than its recipe or ingredients. Oh, I see. Like who was the first to make it? Its history, that sort of thing? If it's Yok Tale's history you're interested in, you should start with the Old War. Between the Jixpral and the Mamolja, right? These forests have borne witness to centuries of warfare, the evidence of which remains a scar upon the earth. To know the end of that bloodshed is to know Gilbrook Peel. Huh? What does steamed Ibrok have to do with bloodshed? Precisely the question we must answer. Vexing though such a detour may seem, I can think of no other way to approach this feat. In that case, you may wish to visit the site of a settlement ruined by the war, the village of Ilon Aso. It lies a short distance to the east. The village of Irkaso. Understood. Thanks you for your help. Come, let's go see this place. Also, I love that, like, right as I was talking about how they look alike, he freaking shows up and gives us more hints. I'm like, they look similar, except he has, like, spotty marks. But he looks pretty damn similar to Wooklabat. Could it be? Could they possibly be family? I don't know. Oh, I was wondering if I could jump off that, but apparently not. They know me too well. Bum, 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 bum. I will eventually have to get all the ether currents and stuff, but I usually do that after expansion. Though given it'd probably be smarter for me to do it before, but it is what it is. I enjoyed the journey. Everyone knows there was a war between the Mamolja and the Zikbrao, but I may have forgotten some of the details. The village of Ixon Ash must be further east. Let us continue with haste. For all we know, our competitors may be on our heels. Okay, we're going left. New location. That thing is so freaking cute. It looks like a sugar glider. And it's angry at me. Bum, 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 bum. What the hell? What is that? Roaming? Huh? Those things look horrifying. This place feels forgotten by time. So, this is the village of Ik-Asho, or what's left of it. It was a place of light and life. My great-grandfather called it home, in fact. Hey, it's our friend! Wookieeboo! Wookieeboo! I didn't even know you're in Nyaktel. I was picking up lumber from Il Brox when I heard that the third promise was on her way to this site of deep historical significance. I immediately saw another opportunity to be of service, and so I followed you here. Wookieeboo is a shipwright who came to our aid during the Feat of Reeds. A pleasure to... You're a member of the third promise retinue, I presume? For the moment, I suppose I am. My name is Kona. Pleased to make your acquaintance. Oh, no. Kona. Now that's a good name. A familiar name. Where have I heard... Here we go again. Kona, as in the second promise of Toliola? To think that I dressed the Dawn Servant's own son in some common retainer. Such a disrespect cannot be excused. Please, take up your gun and... Oh, come on, not this again. I take no offense, so please do not dwell on it. Alright then, I shan't dwell on it. I love this guy. And right on cue. At least he's consistent. I understand you wish to learn about Jukpil. While I am forbidden by the Jabra rocks to divulge any information regarding its preparation, I'd be happy to share what I know of Yoctoel's history. Well, we'd appreciate that. It's a most basic sense. The conflict between the Jukbrau and the Mamolja was one of land. The Mamolja live in the lower forest where the thick canopy obscures the sun and the soil is unforgiving to crops. This drove them to covet the upper forest, the home of the Jukbrau, and they launched a determined campaign to seize it for themselves. Yet, advantage ever favors the higher ground, and the Jukbrau's forces held the upper hand against the invaders, rebuffing them and time again. But, as is stated in the village would attest, the tide eventually turned. What brought it about? Something you know all too well. Blessed siblings. You must understand, the Mamolja were once a people as much at war with themselves as they were with others. The whole Bugjo, Bonjois, and the Dupro each sought to assert dominance over the others, even as they engaged in the Jabral in battle. In an effort to strengthen bonds and discourage infighting, Haboljo and Bunwa leaders arranged a marriage between their children. However, this political measure altered the course of history in ways no one would have ever imagined. It was long believed that partners of differing clans could not have children together. But then it happened. A child arrived who shared the blood of a Holgo and a Bumwanja, both a two-headed Mamolja. Blessed with tremendous physical strength and magical prowess, he grew into a mighty warrior before eventually rising as the first Oktar, ruler of all three clans. Such qualities would dispose anyone to leadership, character notwithstanding. Understand under the Oktarak's rule, the newly united Mamolja became a force to be feared, and the war soon came to a head. I think it's best you see the results firsthand. Let us visit another battlefield from that time, and there I shall continue the tale. Oh shit. What happened here? By the 12. Oh, it was the Dew Fire Blast, yeah? Mayhaps? Such devastation!
This is where most battles were fought between the Shabral and Mamulja, the Shobrit Cinder Field.
A field of cinders, indeed. How fierce their clashes must have been.
The war over these lands began after the Yoqui's departure some 500 years ago. And for 4 centuries thereafter, the two enemies repaid violence with violence. A constant stream of minor skirmishes, punctuated by massive slaughter.
Until Father ended their endless conflict 80 years ago.
Accompanied by a retinue of only 6, the Dawn Servant opposed both armies and brought the fighting to a standstill.
First they sealed Bali Armanda at full strength, and now this.
It was during this armistice that both sides gathered for negotiations at the Dawn Servant's behest.
Someone's watching. Someone's here.
For too long, you have been bound by your ancestors' violent legacy. It is past time you broke free of it.
Tell that to the Scale Scum! We fight to protect what is rightfully ours! If not for their greed, we'd be living in peace!
I mean, he's not wrong. It was theirs first.
Puff your tails and scurry off, then! Cowards like you ill-deserve the bounty of this
I really
forest.
don't like Mimolja very much. Most of them have been
Even
assholes.
should one of you succeed in vanquishing the other, your triumph will last only until a new invader arrives.
This is our first time hearing the valid reason. To my knowledge, anyway.
Tell me, do you know of the vast continent that lies far to the east, where numerous nations vie for dominance? You do not. And why should you? Affairs beyond the salt we have no intention to cross are of no consequence to us. Not until those affairs come to Tural, like our honored visitor here.
He's from across the ocean.
I've been to the ocean before, and it's nothing but water farther than the eye can see. What sort of vessel could possibly reach its end?
That such technology exists is indisputable, as is foreign powers' awareness of Tural. If any such country were to develop a taste for Turali soil and bring to bear the might of innovations we can only imagine, what do you suppose happens then?
Your asses would be handed to you, that's what.
You do not know the warlords of the East, but you know that if they came, they would not settle for a single forest. By joining hands, we might create a unified front, an alliance capable of repelling them or any other foe. There is no greater proof of these than my companions and I. Alone we are weak, but together we triumphed over Valigarmanda.
What? You defeated the Sky Ruin?
Technically imprisoned him, but yeah.
I'd take you for a liar if the sting of our own defeat wasn't still fresh.
Their coordination was indeed impressive. How the Pelu stymied our efforts to cripple the Yokui's legs and defend our ballistas. And when we withdrew to strike again from a distance, the Hanu called the winds to make our arrows miss their marks. In seeking to exploit their weaknesses, we only subjected ourselves to their strengths.
Those strengths are born of cooperation. The guiding principle of the nation we envision.
But our feud has lasted for centuries. How do you expect us to join hands now?
Ha ha! Give us an evening to convince you.
The question is, who is over there?
And so began that legendary banquet. One would not expect sworn enemies to abruptly drink to each other's health, and, indeed, a tense silence hung over the venue. But then, the Dawn servant called for the exchange of traditional cuisine. So it was that the Mamulja partook of spiced meat, and the Chebral steamed najul. Before long, delight manifested upon the faces of those present, each side impressed by the other's dish. Seeing this, the Dawn servant laughed and declared once more. Their flavors, he said, would be even better combined, and he proceeded to help them prepare the new creation.
That's Shibruk Pibil, I'd wager.
It is a marriage of Chebral and Mamulja cultures, and proof of their newfound cooperation.
I mean, technically not teaching you how to make it, only telling you a history of why it was created. Technically, it's a workaround, a loophole in the rules. I love you, Wookimoo.
The Dawn servant had asked for a single evening, but the feasting is said to have lasted 3 days and 3 nights. So delicious was their repast. In the end, a peace accord was reached, and the Dawn servant's words at that time still illuminate our way forward.
Ignorance begets a strife. Understanding begets fellowship.
Sorry. It's just to think that he ended an age-old conflict with food. It's all so absurd. It's somehow so very papa, I couldn't help but laugh.
I mean, everyone's gotta eat. Food is the way to end anything.
Ignorance
Explains why.
begets strife. Understanding begets fellowship.
It explains why Wooklamat's brain is literally just her stomach.
Now then, I trust you understand the significance of Shibruk Pibil and the history it has written.
Absolutely. Thank you for sharing the story with us.
Now, who is lurking back there?
What's wrong?
You're being watched.
Someone was there, you say?
Perhaps our competition is cooking up some scheme or another.
You definitely look like Manolja.
Something bitter and half-baked, no doubt.
I never imagined our father was instrumental to Jukpib's invention. I hope I have been of significant service to the third promise. Papa really did live up to his words. He traveled the land and learned about our people's myriad cultures. And we're doing the same now. It's thanks to Wook Ibu that we were able to learn these forces' history. That's twice now that he's helped us. To think that we might never have met him if we had not thought to fix the float. Okay. Alright. Alright, we're good.